What up, world? Welcome to another episode of RMT. That's Real Man Talk. It's your boy, Stan the Man, coming to you with another great conversation piece on today. And before we get started, I want to thank you for joining me here on RMT. Real quick, before we get started, do me a favor. Man, hit that like button, hit that share button, drop a comment, and also share this with someone that you think that it could help, all right? Appreciate that. So let's go ahead and get into it. On today, we're going to talk about love starts at home. Yes, love starts at home. And we're going to do it like this. Love is the most profound and intricate emotion known to mankind. It finds its roots in the nurturing environment of our homes. Home is where love begins. It's where we first learn about it and where we first experience it. It's at home. And that experience shapes an individual perception of how they think, how they feel, and how they experience love for the rest of their lives. Love is not just a feeling, but it's a foundation. It's the cornerstone of how people build their relationships and how they want to spend the rest of their lives. And so, talk about where love starts at, right? And we all know a mother's love, a father's love, grandparents, somebody that truly embrace you and love you for who you were. Not for what you can do, how you can do it, or what you could become, but they love you just because you just existed. That unconditional love. That love that stayed up and helped you with your homework. That love that made sure you had a meal. That love that made sure you had a roof over your head. That love that made sure you had clothes on your back. And even had some of the clothes that you wanted. That love that made sure you had all the tools you needed to be successful in whatever situation you was in. That type of love. That love that made you feel like that you could accomplish anything in your life that you wanted to accomplish. That type of love. That's the type of love that sets that foundation for the rest of your life. Everybody didn't have this type of experience, but to have someone in your life like that, to have a sibling, to have parents, a mother, a father, have a grandma, a granddaddy, an uncle, auntie, someone that took you in and embraced you and loved you for who you were, man, that's truly a blessing to have people like that. And before I get deeper, I want to give a shout out and I want to rest in, you know, my people that's resting well. That's my father, Stanley Nash Sr. He showed me that love. My mom, Sammy Lou Nash, she showed me that love. And my stepmom, Wanda K. Nash, that showed me that love. Those three individuals showed me unconditional love and help shape me to be the individual I am today. So I want to give a shout out to them and thank them for being the people that they were, showing the love that they showing the love that they showed because they didn't have to do it, the sacrifices that they made, and all the knowledge that they poured into me. I really appreciate that. I really love them and I really miss them. So now let's keep on going. And these relationships add an additional layer of wisdom, support, and love. And I think those three things right there can be the foundation of what love is. Wisdom is the experience that they passed down, the bumps in the road that they had, that now you don't have to go through it because they passing it down on what they did wrong and they messed up in life and it set them back, and what they did right to move them forward. You have that wisdom. You have that support on when you try certain things and you might not be the best at it. And then right there pat you on their back to give you that support to keep going, to keep doing it, to stay focused. You can do this. The encouraging words that they give. You know you can do this. I did it before. I went through where you was at, and this how I overcame. This how I overcame that situation. The support there. And the last thing was just the love wrapped up with the wisdom and the support, just loving you through any situation, even when you're doing wrong. Because a lot of us, and let me put my stuff out there, like even when you've been arrested or you get caught with some stuff you don't should have not had in the first place, or you shouldn't have got that D-dub, or you shouldn't have been robbing people, you shouldn't have been gang banging. It's a lot of things that people support us. Some people go to jail, and you got them there to support you through that. Some of them have children early, a teen pregnancy. They there to support you through that. They there to support you even when it's embarrassing to them. When it brings shame to the parent, they still there to support you. Still there, they're giving you those words of wisdom, and still loving you through that situation. That's how it works. It coming from home. And love at home is not just about the affectionate part, right? Not just the wisdom, support, and love. It's not just that, right? It's also the values and principles that they instill in you at the house. Like your parents are disciplined. They showing you how to pay bills. This how life should go. You gotta pay taxes. This the way that you should keep your house clean. You need to wash clothes, dry clothes, taking care of yourself. Taking yourself to the doctor, to the dentist, keeping yourself up. I know one thing about my parents, and one thing about my pops is that they taught me how to cook, clean, sew, iron. Pop showed me how to cut my own hair, how to cut my grass, and even if I have to do minor mechanic work on my automobile, I can do it. Because he said, son, there might be a time where you can't pay somebody to do it, or you might not be in a situation that you can get to somebody that's professional that can do it, and at that time you can't get to that person, so you have to go and do it to take care of your family or to take care of that situation at that particular time. It might not be a situation where you might not have the money. It might just be in a situation where you can't get to anyone at that time. You can't contact nobody to fix the situation, and you have to go ahead and handle your business then. And one thing about the principles and the values that they instill in you, you can instill that and pass it down, and you can live your life a certain type of way based on just that at the house, starting at home. And they teach you about the love within yourself, to love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, if you don't think much of yourself, you're willing to accept more negative things from people than you should if you're not loving yourself. And they said, well, do you think that you have to love yourself to a certain degree? And you definitely have to love God. When God is in the home, when God is in the situation, God is added to the wisdom, God is added to the support, God is added to the love, because God is love. Once all of those things are mixed into, even though you might go down the wrong path, you always know where home is. You always know where the love, the support, the wisdom, your values, your principles. That's why I said train up a child in the way they should go. And when they get older, they will not depart. That's why you instill. Because even when you at your lowest moment, or you did some of the things that the world would consider something, you might be the worst individual, and those values and everything that they instill in you, they still there. They still gonna work. They still there. Um, and they also like I said, it's a sense of responsibility that they give you. Um, it's a sense of responsibility that they give you, integrity, and also resilience. The responsibility, like I said, from cleaning up your room to saving your money if you get a little job to make sure your homework, make sure your grades are up to par, make sure you know how to act in certain situations when you go around certain people. And even when you fail, to keep pushing to do better, to go further than what they did. Some of our parents graduated high school, some of them didn't, some of them went to college, some of them grad. Everybody got different situations, but when somebody love you truly to your core, they're gonna make sure that they push you to be the best individual that you can be. They gonna push you, and as they push you, they want you to have a sense of integrity with the things that you do. I remember I remember my pops. He used to, when he was showing me different stuff. One thing I do remember is like changing tires when you replace your tires, and so when you have a flat, you got to replace it. And one thing he taught me was that the righty tighty, lefty loosey. And also, when you taking it out, go in a diagonal. So I go across from the other lug nut, go across to this lug nut, putting them on and taking them off. Make sure I keep all the lug nuts together. Make sure that the car jacked up a certain way. Also, be respectful of the individuals around you. Be respectful to your elders. To carry myself in a certain way because that Nash name has some integrity behind it. That Nash name has some respect behind it. And you need to carry that with responsibility. And that's what was taught. And also, I think that the love at the home is set to standards on your romantic relationships that you have outside of the home. And the reason I speak on that because I came from a loving household. I can't say I came from a broken household. I came from a loving two-parent household. I got a chance to see my parents love on each other. I got the chance to see what a healthy relationship looked like. I got a chance to see how a father in a leadership role of a husband and how you should operate with your children, how you should operate with your wife. I saw the role of how a wife should act. I saw those things. And so I wanted to make sure that I was that individual when I got married. I wanted to make sure I was that husband to my wife. I wanted to make sure that I was that father to my children of the example that was shown to me. I wanted to be those things. And let me say this. It's a lot of people that I know. It's a lot of people that I know that growed up in broken homes. It's a lot of people I know that their parents, the daddy wasn't in the house, the mom was on drugs, because back when I was younger, crack was a big thing. Their mom will leave them, they ain't got no furniture in the house, they might just have like a video game, they ain't got no food, they crying, and they might have their grandparents that'll kind of help them out. But as they got older, they wanted to make sure that their children didn't go through that. He wanted the family dynamic. See, a lot of people be thinking men just want to be all players, but some people didn't have that love within the household. So since they didn't have that love, they want to create a household with that love. They want to create a household that when I was a child, I didn't get the attention that I wanted from my dad. I didn't get that attention that I wanted from my mom. So when I have children, I want to create an atmosphere and show those kids the love that I didn't have. I want to love my wife the way that I wanted to see my mom get loved on. I want to create an environment like that instead of out here being a player. But society will say, just be a player. Sleep with as many women that you need to sleep with. And I fell into that, thinking that the more notches that I have up under my belt, the more women that I sleep with, the more player that I am. I did. And society will make you think that, okay, if you want to settle down and be with one woman while you're young, you lame. You're lame. But I tell you this: if you find the right one, if you find the right woman to settle down with, to get married, to do the right thing with, and she's a good woman, man, that's better than all the females you could ever sleep with. At the end of the day, man, it's better than that. And also, another thing is that another thing a loving home can build trust. Learn how to build trust in people, because if you have your word, if you have and another thing is just building trust and just a mutual respect. Building trust with somebody in a loving household, man. Being able to trust someone after having a tough, you've been brung up a tough way, it's kind of hard to build trust. When a lot of people to mess you over when you was younger. And I'll say this for the guys out there that making children and might not be in the household, or you might not be out. I I think you need to love yourself enough, man, to be there for your children. And let me say this: I think you need to be there for your children, because if you're locked up, you can't be there to really protect them. You can't really stop your daughter from being molested, or your son from being molested, or you can't stop them from being mistreated. You can't stop them from not being fed, not being loved. And if you're making bad decisions, that you lose your life, you're not here. So you can't protect them. You can't do. I mean, in certain circumstances, when it's your time, it's your time. But if you're doing something that's if you're doing something that's making your time come faster and not being there for your kids, stop it, man. Because your children need you, regardless of what TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, Snapchat, regardless of what they saying, the children need you more now than ever. Because once you be at peace with yourself, you can show love to everyone that's around you. No inner peace, no love. Inner peace, much love. Appreciate y'all tuning in. If you want to get social with me after this, you can hit me up. Facebook, TikTok, Stan the Man on those two platforms. Also on Instagram, Real Man Talk Podcast. Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Look me up. Appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see y'all next week. Peace.